Hi there, Monarch Nation. Welcome to the latest edition of Wake Up with Wilder. I'm Ted Alexander. Monarchs coming off their first defeat of the season, 53-23 to North Carolina. And, Coach, lots to talk about in that game. We'll go kind of chronologically. You need to play well to beat good teams. You didn't play well off the bat.
No, we didn't. It was really disappointing, Ted, because the crowd was into it. That was as loud, as exciting. The stadium was full. We were getting a lot of energy from them, and it just felt like everything that could go wrong went wrong, particularly in that first quarter. We didn't have a first down on offense. We couldn't catch a break in a big situation on defense, although I thought our defense really hung in there early in this game, Ted. We held them to a field goal early. Then we have the bad punt. I mean, Bailey Cape punted the ball. You look at those end numbers, but the first quarter he didn't punt well. He had the 20-yard shank. They got a short field, so it felt like everything that could have gone wrong early in this game went wrong.
We also learned that it doesn't have to be turnovers that mean things are going wrong. It could be missed execution here or there, an arm tackle here or there, and those teams pile up against good teams. You just have to do your best to avoid that stuff.
Yeah, and the field position, Ted, in the first half of this game, really until Blake LaRussa had one series where he got us going, and unfortunately, we didn't score on that series. We had the blocked field goal on that series, but really until the end of the second quarter, we just couldn't get out of our own end. It was as if the entire game was played down there. The play differential was 20. Our defense was getting exhausted because we kept going 3 and out on offense, and really until about 3 minutes to go, Ted, before the half, that's when I felt like the game started to change.
Well, and the game started to change when you pulled the red shirt off 17-year-old Stephen Williams, the quarterback. Tell me about what went into that decision, because you certainly saw a lift on everybody's behalf after he came in.
Yeah, I felt like, Ted, that, and this goes back to preseason, how well he performed, how the players perceive him, how the other coaches perceive him, and nothing against either Blake or Jordan, but we just hadn't been in sync offensively through 2.5 games. The Albany game, it just didn't feel like we were successful on offense. The UMass game, we were only able to score 17 points in that game, and that was a struggle to score 17. And then in the first half of this game, you could just feel the air came out of our sideline, and everybody was looking for a spark, and it wasn't predetermined going into the game. I hadn't talked to Coach Scott and Coach Whitcomb about if I felt this I was going to do it. It's just a feeling that I had on the sideline. I walked up to Coach Scott and I said, I want to make a change. Then I went up to Stevie and grabbed him, and initially he wasn't sure what I was talking about, and I said, Stevie, go grab your helmet, you're in. And from the moment he went in, you could feel the energy come back to us, and from that point on, we outscored him the rest of the game. But for him to go in there, Ted, as a true freshman in that environment against that team and perform like he did bodes well for our future.
And it almost turned the focus from North Carolina to the rest of our lives here at Old Dominion football. The new era began, as we said on the broadcast. What does he bring to the table?
He's extremely athletic. He's got the strongest arm on the team, and I feel like once he starts playing and gets comfortable, you're really going to see that arm strength come forward. Sometimes for a quarterback, Ted, they've got to get comfortable to really just cut it loose and let the ball go. And you saw in this game, Ted, the emergence of Hassan Patterson. Scored a touchdown. Noah Ellison. A couple really big catches, one on fourth down. So now all of a sudden, you see these other guys start to emerge around him. And remember, these are young players that are also playing with him. You see them emerge. And what came out of the game, Ted, from the players' perspective, as I told Coach Scott and Coach Whitcomb and Coach Forrest, our wide receiver coach, everybody better know now, when you run a route, you're in play, because that ball might be going to anybody. He's got an ability to scramble. He's got an ability to extend plays. You saw the long touchdown pass to Fulgham. There's a lot in his repertoire that he can do, and when you play with that type of quarterback, similar to when Heineke came in back in 11, you could be a backside route. You better run your route, because he might come to you. If he sees something, he's going to come to you, and that changes the dynamics of who we are. Unfortunately, his first career start's a tough one at a team that I picked to be number 11 this week in my coaches poll, but this is why you want to play quarterback.
Virginia Tech, the first ever game against the Hokies. What do you see on tape? What are you going to be preparing for, especially this week, to try and compete down in Blacksburg?
First of all, I see an outstanding football team. This is clearly the best team we have ever played. I watch them on video in all three phases: special teams, defense, and offense. They're well coached. They have really good football players at every position. There's not a weakness that I look at and see on this team. And I picked them as 11 in my poll, which is higher than most others did, because I've watched all their games and I see a complete football team. And what we're going to have to do is just go up there with an attitude that we don't have anything to lose. Go up, play as hard as we can play, and try to be in this ball game late with an opportunity to win.
Lastly, Coach, your football team's had about 36 hours to digest a change at quarterback. Have you noticed a change in the meeting room or a change around the building here?
Yeah, they were excited, Ted, because of the way he performed when he came in. If you make that change and the player you put in doesn't perform well, you're right back to square one. Now you've got different conversations in different pockets of your building about who should be the quarterback. Well, there's no conversation or debate right now in the facility about who should be the quarterback. They all feel like Stevie is the guy. Now he's got to go out and perform, and Blake and Jordan and Drayton have to continue to get better, because we got 10 games. Well, hopefully 10 games left, at least 10 games, 9 on the schedule to complete the 12. But you got to have that mindset where, okay, he's our guy and we're behind him. And that's what I feel like the mindset is in this building.
There you have it. Monarchs getting set for a first ever trip to Blacksburg. That game, Saturday afternoon kickoff at 2. For the coach, Bobby Wilder, I'm Ted Alexander. This has been Wake Up with Wilder on Monarch Media.